Hello and welcome to this episode of Cosmic Tarot, where today we're going to be unboxing and taking a first look at the Allcento Tarot by Michael Jane Auger. Now, I've been so excited about this deck. I've seen it. They've been showing it, for pre-order for months now, and it just came out a few weeks ago. You can see there, it's by US Games Incorporated, one of the most well-known tarot publishing companies out there. You can see right there, their little logo is the Fool himself from the Rider-Waite-Smith. So this is a really cool deck, and I'm going to go ahead and warn you now that it is pouring down the rain outside at my house right now, storming, thunder, and all of that. So if you hear some strange noises, it's just Mother Nature saying hi. So that's going on, but it doesn't matter because we're indoors, so it doesn't matter if the deck is out because it's not going to rain on it. Well, I hope not. There's always that chance that the roof leaks or something, but so far so good, and we're going to knock on wood for that. But we're going to get right into this deck. I'm going to use my little scissors right over here, my handy dandy scissors, to make a little snip in the plastic so we can get into it. Or maybe not. This is like the most difficult or most annoying part about unboxing a deck, is trying to get that deck out of the plastic. It's new because it's in a plastic, so it's all nice and wrapped up, but trying to get it open without denting the box or anything like that or scratching it, it's kind of frustrating at times, but we got it. Just make a little snip with the scissors over here, pop the plastic off, make sure that you throw the plastic away so it doesn't get anywhere, or recycle it if you possibly can, so that you can really enjoy the deck that's in it. And the box itself, very, very well made. Actually, it's one of the bigger boxes, so it's kind of a little bit more interesting than the average tarot deck. And I say a little bit more interesting as well because this is more than just a regular 78 card tarot deck. Let's turn it over and I'll read you what it says back here. It says, Allcento Tarot combines rich symbolism from the historic tarot traditions as well as the most popular modern incarnations. Inspired by early Marseille and Minnesota Tarot, don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, this delightful 100 card deck, that's right, there's 22 more cards in this deck than the average tarot, with plaque painted edges, incorporates Zodiac cards, all 7 virtues, and the lesser known triumph cards, including the dragon and the grail. The 144-page illustrated guidebook explores numerological and quabistic insights, casting a light on hidden and forgotten knowledge while presenting an engaging new approach to tarot. So this is teaching even the most seasoned tarot readers out there, maybe even more than they had realized. If you're starting out and you're looking for that awesome deck to begin with, this could very much be it. So let's get into it, shall we, and see what the cards look like in the guidebook and everything. Box is one of those 2-piece boxes. You open it up and there is, I believe, Justice of the deck, because she's got the sword, she's got the scales and everything, so that's most likely Justice. Here is the guidebook. Let's look through it really quickly. Black and white pictures, but that's not important because the colors come from the decks themselves. So you have all the different meanings and everything there, so you can really get those juices flowing and really learn the cards, even those extra 22 that you might not have known about earlier. Now we've got 2 different sides of this, so I guess I'm not really sure why there's 2 sides, but we're going to get into it and see the different cards and everything. So I'm just going to kind of flip it over, and then we have our 2 cards. So I'm going to have to assume there's 50 in each. You see they're both very much the same width right there, so there's probably 50 in each thing. So the box would have been a lot thicker. They could have, the way they made it was kind of landscapey. I don't know if that's the correct word or not, but it's kind of just different sized, so it's more cards, so it's a little bit different. So I've used my handy dandy scissors again, and I've made little slits in each of the cards, so we can just pull, just like we did the box, pull all of this plastic off. And I'm going to do one pile at a time. I might even put the cards back in order, but then there's really no point because they have 2 sides, so I probably won't do that. But we have one open, and then let's just take the plastic off of this one, and now we have both. Now I'm just going to set this one aside for now, and we're going to go through this one. So we're going to flip it over, and I'm going to go 1 card at a time, and you're going to see the illustrations the same time I do. So here is the Queen of Wands, and what I've already noticed about this deck, and I think it's really, really cool, it's teaching you a way to read another type of deck. Regular playing cards. Look, Right down there is the clubs, the suit of clubs. So like if you get the Queen of Clubs, you know the Queen of Wands now, and you've learned something you might not have known before. So you've got the beautiful illustration there, very cartoony, very fun, and she's got the Queen symbol up there. She's got the lions and everything. My only kind of like thought about this that I might not like actually like appreciate as much is the fact that there's nothing here pointing to she's at the Queen related to Aries season. She's got the cheetahs right here. She's got the lions up there. It kind of has Leo energy there with the sunflower and everything, but there's nothing depicting that she's the card related to Aries. So that's just the personal thing for me. I don't know if that's that big of a deal. I do like that little attention to detail down there with the clubs, so you're connecting it to that. But again, like this is the fun of having different decks, unique decks, different decks than you had before, because you're getting more information than you might have had before. All the flames and everything going up her dress, it reminds us that she is the queen of passion, of fire, and she's gotten to where she is today because she has that passion. Queen of Wands is followed by the Queen of Pentacles in this deck, and here is the Queen of Pentacles, or known as Queen of Discs, like it originally was in the Marseille Tarot. And you've got the goats and everything right there, so she very much relates to Capricorn. We have that energy right there, and I like the fact that like Masonic symbol right there, because it relates to that Capricorn energy to me, because Capricorns, in my opinion, are the most creatively talented sign of the zodiac. They know how to put that perfection, and they know how to put in that work to create the earthly existence that they want for themselves. Now you've got the earth symbol over here, just like this one had the fire symbol. And the suit that relates to playing cards is right there with the diamonds. So she's the queen of diamonds as well as she is the queen of discs. And diamonds, definitely an earthly thing that you can enjoy and find finance with. King of Swords is next, and we have this illustration right here. You see he's all, I like the yellow. The yellow kind of reminds you that even if you're logical, you have that creative potential as well. So you can still find that day in the sun, you can still find happiness and joy. And there's the symbol for air right there, and the suit of spades. He relates to the suit of spades in the playing cards. So there is that one. The King of Cups is next, and we have this illustration as well. And you've got him sitting there, and he's almost like he's like taking the sword and like scratching his neck with the sword. So that's a fun kind of idea there. I wouldn't recommend trying that. There is the heart right there, relating it to the hearts of the playing cards. The water symbol over here, and the water he's in and everything, showing this is the emotionally fulfilled king of the court. Yes, so there's the King of Cups. And then the King of Wands is right here. We have the King of Wands, and he's got his Leo symbol right there in the background. He's got his salamander. He's got the fire, just like the Queen of Wands had her fire. So they're very much together right there. Very coloring, symbolic, like connection right there. And you've got the symbol for fire again right here, and the clubs. Think of clubs as wands, and you can impress people with the fact that you can read playing cards as well as you can actual tarot cards. So that's a cool little thing I think is cool about this deck. King of Discs is next. And I assume the other two queens are in this deck. We will have to wait. Yeah, there. You can see one of them right there. So they're all here. They're just in different ones. So that is an interesting take. There is the King of Discs with his earth symbol right there. There's a cute little turtle down here. His warthog kind of thing over here that he seems to have destroyed. So sorry about the warthog in the illustration. You know, I'm not a huge fan of any kind of hunting or anything like that. But, you know, that's what they had to do to survive in the past, so I understand it. Diamond is right there because he's the suit of earth, and he's in the diamonds suits of playing cards. King symbol, there's the Taurus symbols in the back, because in the front right there, because you know all the kings relate to the fixed signs, whereas all the queens relate to the cardinal signs. So that's a little astrology, little connection there that you might not have been aware of. So there is the king, and now we're getting into the major arcana. So the magician is first. We have that illustration right there. I love the coloring. I love the cartoony little illustrations there. You don't see this in any other deck, and there's so much going on in this illustration. There is this symbol over here, and I bet the guidebook is going to tell us what that is, because I've seen it before, but I don't remember exactly what it means. So that's something that you can definitely, you know, learn from, grow your business, or grow your intuition and grow your craft as well. You've got the like symbol over here that we see on the Two of Cups, the medical symbol. You've got the spade right there. You have the club right there, the heart right there, and I'm not seeing the sword, but the sword is like his mind, if we can see it as that. So you have all of that information right there. Nope, look, There is the diamond right there. So you have all the symbols that you need to really have that connection to that power that you have within you. So there is the magician and the star over here. The star is the fact that it's the major arcana, the trumps of the tarot, if you will. High priestess is next, and she has that symbol. Okay, so it must be both of those symbols are the major arcana, because you see it continues there, right there on the high priestess as well. So those are like the important cards and things like that. And I love the purple energy again, and the fact she's got the emotion over here and the fire over here. So there's things in this deck that you don't see in other decks. And when the creator created it, I've forgotten his name already, Michael, when Michael created this deck, he had all that thought in there, and he put all that thought into the illustration. So it's such a unique, cool deck for sure. The Empress is next, and she's a beautiful Empress right there with her eagle and everything flying forward with her creativity. There's the symbol for Venus. There, she's pregnant with new life. She's got the passion and everything while staying grounded as well, and she's connected with her emotions. So it's all right there in the illustration. And the yellow relates right there to the creativity she possesses. The Emperor follows the Empress, and I like his focus on this illustration because he's looking very much towards what he's already achieved, towards the strong foundation that's given him the strong foundation that he has now. And there's the symbols up there that could be the Aries symbol. He's got the world in his hand with that cross on top, which shows all that hard work and effort that he's put in to achieve what he's achieved thus far. So very cool illustration of the Emperor. The Hierophant follows the Emperor, and we have that illustration right there. The Teacher of the Tarot, as I like to see it. He's got all that wisdom and everything. There are the keys, and the people that are listening to him share. So all of those things he's achieved in the past, all the times he's begun, all the times that he's created that strong foundation, trusted his intuition, and created, is all that knowledge he has to share with others now. So that's a cool illustration as well. The Choice. The Choice replaces the Lovers in this deck. That's a cool little difference there, and it kind of reminds you of that meaning of the Lovers that is deep within there, because we think of the love we have for another soul. We think of the love that we have for ourselves, and we also think of that love that we have enough to make the choices that we love as well. So there is that illustration. I really like that little attention to detail with the choice. You know, the choice is yours, whether you want to follow your heart or not. The choice is yours of what makes your heart sing. So that is a very cool illustration right there. The Chariot is next, and we have that right there. And the way that the horses are, it kind of shows the obstacle energy that the Chariot represents, because that horse right there, he seems kind of panicky. He's like, do you really want to go after this? Do you really want to do this? And that horse is like, yes, I am ready for whatever life throws at me. I'm ready to go overcome whatever obstacles I face. And even the character, the soldier or the charioteer in the chariot itself, he looks almost bored and uninterested. So maybe that's why he's getting behind his chariot. Maybe that's why you get behind your chariot, because you're bored and uninterested with what you have already. So there is a new take on that illustration that you don't see in other decks. Very, very cool. Now this is Marseille related. So we have Justice as 8, and it'll make Strength as 11. So that is a cool little touch there. And that is the Justice that we saw on the guidebook as well. And she's got everything she needs there. There's even the butterfly relating her to the Suit of Swords, because she trusts her mind. She's fair to herself. And that's how she's going to find that success and wealth of the 8, because she has the strength and the wisdom and the fair and balancedness. Sure, the fair and balancedness she needs to succeed. The time is the Hermit. Seriously, I'm loving the different name changes that we see, that we don't see in other decks. It's really, really cool. Like there is Time, the Hermit. And it shows all of those things of your past, you know, all the poison that you've overcome, all the lessons that you have learned, all the wisdom. The snake definitely, to me, always relates to wisdom. Even if I'm terrified of them, I see their worth. But that snake there, it's like, shows all the wisdom and everything accrued. So you have everything that you need to spin the wheel and begin the next chapter of your story. There is the Wheel of Fortune. I absolutely love this illustration. It is so just unique. I love the water wheel. It's a water wheel instead of like, I've seen decks that had it as like a Ferris wheel and stuff. It's so cool how you can make the Wheel of Fortune, and this might be one of my favorites ever. It's just so interesting. And you have a bunch of different astrological symbols around the characters too. Like I believe that might be Mercury, so it's like communicating your ideas. Here's another symbol that I'm not 100% sure what it is, but he's hanging upside down, so I have that kind of idea that it's hanged man energy, because you have patience as you decide where you want to go and what you want to spend the wheel to. That is Aquarius down there, and she's got the Wednesday, Addams Family Wednesday vibe, so that's really cool. And I think that might be the sun right there, so that relates to Leo. So you have the fixed energy here, you have the patience, you have the calm groundingness that you need so you can spin the wheel and begin the next chapter. So very cool illustration right there. Fortitude. Fortitude is strength in this deck, and that's very much the Marseille style. I think Fortitude, it's even called that in the Thoth Tarot, so that's really cool that they added that as well. And it's finding that internal strength. I've always seen it that way. Finding your internal strength in order to like have that confidence that you need to succeed. And she's even got the infinity sign and everything up there in her hat, so very, very cool there. And I'm going to pull up the Wheel of Fortune right here as we get to the Hanged Man, and I was right. See, look. There's the hangman and there's the hangman. So that's a cool little touch right there, isn't it? You've got even Death. Death is right there too. She was the character in the Wheel of Fortune too. What? How cool that they've actually matched those. So let's talk about the hangman for a minute. There he is hanging around, being enlightened, taking all of that knowledge and wisdom. You've even got that groundingness with the mushrooms and everything. But he has all that wisdom, all that time that he's taking so he can decide really what he wants to create next. And that 12, very much 1, 2 equals 3, creativity and creation itself, creating that Empress energy. And like with the Empress and any of our creative endeavors, including life itself, you have to take that time. Have patience with the process in order to create anything wonderful. Hangman is followed by Death, and Death looks like Wednesday Addams for sure, or even Morticia for that matter, because she has that spooky goth kind of energy there, and such an interesting illustration there. I actually love the fact that there's like the queen and king right there, letting go of social morals, letting go of the things that society tells you that you have to do, finding that sun that's awaiting for you, moving forward to better times and everything, because you have that confidence, you found that strength, you found that wisdom to be fair to yourself, you had the patience in order to learn what needs to die so you can really truly live. So beautiful illustration there. And the purple kind of just sticks to all of this, and I love that. Every single illustration kind of has that purple in the major arcana. And purple, when it comes to color symbolism, I always kind of see it, purple to create red and blue. That's the only way you can create purple. Yes. And so you have the red of the passion, letting go of the anger and everything, and you had the blue of the thought process, logic and intuition, and together they combine to make the awesomeness that is purple. So Temperance is right here, and she's taking the old, and I even like how the gray is right there of, you already know this, and creating that new thing with the yellow, so that kind of shows like this extra little energy you don't get anywhere else. And then if you look at Death, you see that right there? You've got the Death. You see the sun and the potential. Now that sun has grown out a little bit more because you've taken those lessons, you've taken what's been gone, you've learned the lessons it has to teach you, and you're applying that to the next chapter and changing and transforming your story for the better. Beautiful illustration, and it's even kind of got the Wednesday vibes behind her as well, because she's learned from that experience. She knows her strength now, begin seeing yourself as the strong foundation, and you can begin changing your story for the better. That's Temperance. Temperance is followed by the Devil, and here is the Devil illustration. What a creepy, creepy looking devil right there. Vices and addictions, holding you prisoner, keeping you from really believing in your dreams and everything. And they've got their heads down. So they're like prisoners to their own doubt and everything like that. But there's nothing holding them there. They can very much pick themselves up, begin whatever they want to begin as long as they love themselves enough. Begin changing your life for the better by seeing that, learning from the past. 6 is a number of self-reflection. So taking that time to reflect so you can decide where you want to go and the life you want to live. The Thunderbolt replaces the Tower, so here is the Tower of the Tarot. That illustration right there. Lots of chaos, things that we have no control over. The tower is going to fall if the tower is going to fall, and there is that illustration. So very, very cool illustration, and I like that for Universal Horcrux, is that what it's called? I haven't looked at it for a very, very long time. Aleister Crowley has it. It was like his symbol in the Thoth Tarot. There's a card in there, and I love it. And there's a little flower in the symbol of center there. So this deck just has me wanting to like just get that stuff out and learn again, because it's been a while since I've worked with it, so it's a little bit rusty. But you have all that information that can just help grow your tarot business. It's awesome. The Star is next, and she's like the Temperance right there. She's got the gray of the old, you know, the tower falling, and she's got the yellow of the new, the potential, the hope that remains. And a little nod to my favorite thing about the Star that I like to relate it, Pandora. You know, Pandora's box. The gods thought it would be funny to give her curiosity, the gift of curiosity, and then tell her that to watch this box but don't open it. And there's the box. So it's like it actually connects to Pandora. I love that. That is so cool. Okay, the moon follows the star in the sequence. We have a lot of cards to cover, so we're just going to keep on trucking. The moon is right here. I like the fact that there's like three, the Mother Maiden and Crone kind of energy, and it's all in one person, because she has like, she's looking towards the future, focusing on her dreams. She's reflecting on her past, which gives it that hermit energy of the 18, which equals 9. And she's looking forward too, because she's like, I'm ready for whatever life throws at me. I'm ready to go after this. I'm present in the here and now as I trust my dreams. So that's the first thing like I noticed about this illustration. But the more you look, the more you see and everything. The calm, domesticated dog, the wild dog, the sword, the keys to the answers, the wands, and everything. Like there's so much information in that moon card. Beautiful. The sun follows the moon. You know, once you find those dreams, once you believe those dreams, once you stop having that crisis of faith and really trust your intuition and trust your subconscious, then you can find your day in the sun and find happiness and joy and all that good stuff. And there is that. And the horse, he's not riding the horse. He's standing beside the horse playing his harp. I believe that's a harp. It's a little harp, isn't it? But the horse is freedom. And I love that. That's a little like touch that you don't see in any other decks, the freedom that the horse possesses, because it reminds us like when we trust our dreams, when we trust ourselves, when we leave behind the doubt, when we apply the knowledge of our past to our present, then we can be free from that doubt, from those insecurities, the anger and all that good stuff, and really find that day in the sun. So that is an awesome illustration. Fame. Yeah, I said that in like the David Bowie song just popped in my head. But there is fame. And when you think about fame, you find that when you judge yourself fairly, when you're fair to yourself, there is like a phoenix on that flag. So it says you're reborn. You're creating what you want because you've forgiven the past and found your truth and really trust your intuition now. So that is a wonderful illustration as well. And then last but certainly not least, the regular major arcana, because we have more, is the World Soul. And you see this world right there, very much similar to that of the Rider-Waite-Smith. There is the flames and everything, saying the passion can help you find success. There is the yellow of the creativity over here. You've got the blue, so that's like is that like air, or yeah, air, earth, fire, and water, all the symbols right there. So you have everything you need to find that success and wealth and feelings of on top of the world. So that is the world. And now we're getting into the extras. The vision is 22, which relates it to strong foundation of the 4, double that of the 2, trusting your intuition so you can have that strong foundation, and all the flames and everything, as well as that dark gothic energy says, you know, you've let what no longer serves you go fall away so you can find what does, and trust your intuition because you've learned from those experiences. You have that vision for what you want. Trust your intuition, have compassion, kindness, and empathy for yourself as well as others, and you can create a strong foundation with it and create that vision, bringing it to life. So beautiful illustration there. I love the extras in this deck. That's why I wanted it. It's like a deck you're not going to get any of this stuff anywhere else, so it's really, really cool. 23 equals 5, and you have the Falconer right there. Changing your change and transformation, the Hierophant of the major arcana. The Falcon kind of says, you know, fly higher, believe in your ideas and everything like that. So beautiful illustration there as well. Something we don't see in other decks. Very, very cool. Prudence is 24, 2 and 4. High Priestess and the Emperor creating the Lovers, or choice in this deck, because they had the choice to make it choice, and they made the choice to make it choice. There is Prudence, and you've got like Hermit energy right here, very much the Hermit energy, because he's got the snake that we saw in the Hermit. He's the Hermit right there, but you've got the female feminine energy right there of having compassion and focusing on like reflecting on that past. She's got the mirror so she can find that day in the sun. All of that energy is just right there in the Prudence card, and Prudence is a virtue, and I don't remember what Prudence means, but there is the illustration, and all of that will be in the guidebook book and you can just like learn as you go, and it's so awesome. You know, as a Sagittarius, learning is like my favorite thing to do. So, you know, the more you connect with this deck, the more I connect with this deck, the more I'm going to learn, and I'm so excited about that. The Grail follows the Prudence 25, so it relates to the Chariot of the Major Arcana. There is that illustration, and the snake has made a rope and is going all around. It's like the snake biting its tail, Arboros, I believe it's called. You've got all of that in that illustration. The sword, the anchor, the arrow. So you've got Sagittarius energy going up, shooting for the stars. You've got the sword coming down because you trust your mind, trust that inner truth. And you've got the anchor because you're grounded, you're focused on what you want. And you've got the infinity thing there, kind of like the Arboros and stuff, and saying all those experiences of your past, when you learn from them, you can feel whole and complete. So I love that illustration. I love these extras that, you know, you don't see anywhere else. Dragon is 26. That's a creepy little dragon for sure, but I love the colors of it. And so you've got all that wealth and everything because you've applied all of that knowledge. So awesome illustration there with the dragon. And then Hope. Hope kind of reminds me of the star because, you know, hope is the energy that I always see with the star. So there is Hope. She's got her chest. She's got all of her knowledge, and she's week one with her emotions. She's driving those emotions. She's got hope for the future, better times. And there is that lighthouse showing the light that is awaiting her. So this is an awesome, awesome, awesome deck to read with because it's just fuels your intuition, fuels your imagination. These cards that you haven't seen for probably hundreds of years that would be in original tarot decks. You've got it right here, brand new in these cartoony, weird, beautiful illustrations. Just like the moon follows the star in the major arcana sequence, faith follows hope. Because you have that hope, then you have to have faith in order to achieve it. Dance to the beat of your own drum. Find the people that just relate to you and everything. I keep talking about that. I love the fact that there's these extra cards, these virtue cards and everything that you don't see in other decks. So that is very, very cool. Charity follows faith, and you have that illustration right there. And we've seen that symbol or that headpiece right there before. Was it the temperance card? So you've learned all of those things of the past. See, like the steps are even rulers. So you have, like, you've measured, you've taken the time to shoot for the stars and learn everything and aim your arrow. She's got the flame and everything. She's got life. So it has all of those experiences of the past. You know, when you were there for other people were there for you as well. So this has very much Empress energy as well as temperance, Empress and temperance and all of that energy right there. So that is really cool. Set that one aside. And apparently now we're at the Fool. Yes, we started here with the Magician, didn't we? So we missed the Fool, and he's at the end. Which makes total sense because, you know, once we achieve that success of the world, once we find that charity within, have charity with others as well, we can begin again and be a fool for our lives. So I love that illustration of the Fool. His look at the butterfly and everything. He's trusting his mind. All of the symbols like the earthy, the clouds, the air, the water, the earth, the fire and everything is over here as well. He has everything he needs to succeed, to leap off into the unknown because he experienced all of these other cards, all of these experiences and energy. He's got those with him so he can begin. And we have a little bit, you remember that that suntan lotion that had the picture of the little girl and the dog was behind her and he was kind of pulling down her pants, like biting it? Look. There it is. The dog is pulling down his pants. What a little nod to like bring that memory back. Such a cool illustration. I love that. Okay, I think, yes, we're on to the Zodiac signs now. So the Zodiacs are in this deck too. How cool. I love when tarot decks have the Zodiacs too because it gives you so much more energy, you know? And if you're doing a reading for somebody and it's like their birthday is Pisces season, February 20th, 21st to March 20th, 21st, then this will be the card related to them. And it comes up, they think, you know, oh, were they really connecting to my energy? So that's really cool. The two fishes is Pisces. I don't know why we start with Pisces there instead of the ram, but there is Pisces right there, followed by the ram relating to Aries right there. So very cool right there, determined in everything. The sea monster is also a zodiac thing. I believe that is the symbol for Uranus or Neptune. No, Uranus. I'm 99% sure it's Uranus. If you know and I'm wrong, feel free to let me know in the comments that I messed that up, but I'm pretty sure it is. And that would make sense because that's the subconscious. That's trusting that subconscious and everything, going deep within those emotions so you can decide, you know, face that monster within so that you can come up for air kind of and achieve your dreams and everything. So there is that Uranus symbol. I'm 99% sure. So he's in there as well, or she, because that might have been a female sea monster. A sea male. Huh. Okay. Anywho, Taurus follows Aries in the sequence, and those, the zodiac wheel, and you have that illustration of the bull, the relation to Taurus. So very cool right there. And I like how the board is still that same thing we saw with the major arcana, the like chessboard, if you will. Playing the game of life while we're here. The twins is Gemini, and you have the symbol for Gemini right there in the illustration. And the twins with their fires and everything, ready to trust their minds to achieve what they want to achieve, to create what they want to create. So there is that illustration. The crab represents Cancer, which is the 4th of July for Americans kind of season. The mother of the zodiac, June 20th to July 20th about, and you have the crab right there. So I like the fact that it's just the animals, because maybe some people don't know that the animals relating to their zodiac sign, and there is that animal right there. The lion is Leo, roar with pride, roar with confidence, show the world what you're made of. That fire is what's helping you lead. This is the zodiac of lead singers of bands. Mick Jagger is a Leo. Joe Elliott of Def Leppard is a Leo. So you have all of that passion and fire making them front and center. Leaders in their eras, no. In their genres, no. There's a word there I'm looking for and I can't find it. But leaders in what they're doing, their occupation, and to this day, no matter how old they get, they're still showing that leadership and everything. Very cool right there. That lion is alive and well in those men. The maiden is Virgo, and you have this illustration right there. Beautiful maiden right there, and the thing right there. That is, we saw that. Did we see that in the High Priestess? I believe we did. It was the High Priestess or the Magician, one of the two. But she has even the harvest there of the Empress energy, and the maiden kind of. Virgos are the perfectionists, I believe, of the zodiac. When they know what they want something, they know how to plan for it, and they know how to pay attention to the little details to achieve it. So that is really cool. Right there is Virgo, and the scales would represent Libra. Libras are very, very balanced. You've got the purple and everything, so they trust their intuitions, they trust their passions to help them create. Little thing about Virgos is that they really, really want to support their significant others and help them succeed more so than themselves at times. So Virgos kind of need to remember, you deserve to have a fair and balanced life, an enjoyable life, as well as someone else. So there is the scales, or should I say there are the scales, yes. The scorpion represents Scorpio, and there is the scorpion, diving deep into that ocean of emotion, coming back up, facing your fears, finding that love and belief in yourself to come up and trust yourself in order to, leave behind what no longer serves you and find what does. So there is the scorpion. The serpent bearer follows the scorpion. I don't know what the serpent bearer is. There is the symbol up there that I do not recognize. I feel like I've seen it somewhere, but I don't know what it is. Yes, Guidebook helping a lot with the deck for sure, but there is the serpent bearer, and he's got the serpent himself, that snake that we've seen in a few cards now. He was in was it Virtue? He was in Virtue, and he was in the Hermit, and he was in another one as well, like making the Grail. Yeah, he was in that one as well. So that snake makes a large presence in a lot of the cards, doesn't it? So you've got that illustration as well. Then the zodiac sign, my personal zodiac sun sign, and 5 other planets, I believe, in my birth chart is Sagittarius that follows Scorpio, and you have that centaur right there, the archer, shooting for the stars. We are the only sign of the zodiac that has a weapon, so I think that I'm really proud of that. Okay, if you're a Sagittarius, you should be proud of that too, because you're the only one that has the bow and arrow. You're the only one that has a weapon. Yes, Scorpio has a tail. Crab has their pinchers. Aries, Taurus, and Capricorn all have their horns and everything and their determination. But we, my Sagittarius friends, have the bow and arrow, and see all the arrows back there? That means we learn from those experiences. When things don't work out, when we shoot our passions towards the stars, then we take it in stride. We learn from the experience and we try again. So there is the centaur, aka Sagittarius, followed by the sign that I believe is the most creative sign of the zodiac for sure. Can create little or amazingness out of literal garbage. There we go. Yes, they can take something and just make it out of it because they want to. They have that focus and drive and everything, and they are by far the most interesting animal of the Zodiac, I believe. Because look, it's a goat, and it's a sea goat, because it has a tail. How cool. I mean, I can only imagine how interesting it would have been to live like hundreds of thousands of years ago, probably, when they first looked up at the sky and they're like, okay, that one looks like a centaur, that one looks like a scorpion, that one, I think the original was an eagle, but that's beside the point, that one looks like a beautiful lady, that one looks like a set of scales. This guy looks like a sea goat. So I love the illustration over here. I love the Capricorn energy of it. It's beautiful. And then last but certainly not least, because we already saw the two fishes, aka Pisces, is the water bearer, Aquarius. And they're taking all of that knowledge and everything and bringing newness to life, bringing the creative endeavors to life. Big minds, open-minded, thinking weird and proud and all of that wonderful stuff. I love the energy of Aquarius. Therefore, I love this card. It's absolutely beautiful with the purple and the yellow. Trusting your intuition, your logic and everything like that. Applying your passion to it and creating new wonderful things to make humanity a better place. You know, absolutely gorgeous. So those are the zodiacs. Those are the virtues. Those are the all the other things that we saw. Major arcana, plus a few of the queens and the kings. So that is pile 1. We've been through 50 cards. What shall the other 50 be? Let's pick it up. I'm going to set this one actually down here. So we start over again. This is fun, isn't it? There is the Ace of Swords. So we're into the minor arcana, it seems, and it's set up. So we have the aces first. So let's do this. There is the Ace of Swords, followed by the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Discs. Maybe I shouldn't have done it this way, but I like the fact that you can see all 4 of the aces at the same time, and it should be that way through all the decks, the entire deck, so we're going to do it this way. So you've got the Ace of Discs over here, you've got the green, you know, earthy kind of thing, groundedness, focused on those finances. Ace of Wands, that salamander has gotten bigger, and he's got that flame and everything saying, trust those passionate ideas. The mermaid, which if she had a goat head would be the Capricorn energy of the sea goat. Yes, I think the sea goat is so cool. But she's got that she's part of the ocean. She trusts her emotions and she's filling that cup up, you know, letting that flow out to new ideas. And then we have the Ace of Swords, of course. And I like the yellow because the yellow is kind of that creative potential again. And it reminds us the aha card, as I like to call it, that light bulb going up can help us create something amazing. And you have the symbols down here for earth, fire, water, and air, and you've got the spades for swords, the hearts for cups, the clubs for wands, and the diamonds for discs or pentacles. So very cool right there. Set all of these back up and move on to the twos. Where should I put these? We'll put them over here and we'll get the whole stack back up. So we've got the Two of Swords, the Two of Cups, the Two of Wands, which is the front of the box. It's just so cool how they like set this deck up. I mean, once you start working with it, they're all going to be mixed up. But I've never seen a deck like getting it out of the box that is like this, just the way that it's set up. You know, you have the whole suit. You go ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, page, knight, queen, king. You do all those, and then you go to the next suit, and you go to the next suit. But here we have all of them together. So you have the Two of Discs, you know, the card of balance. She's got that snake again. See the snake? You got the Two of Wands. He's taking that time to learn, decide, and plan what choice he wants to make. The open water and everything. The orange, he's enthusiastic about what he's going to do. The red there shows that passion that he has as well. And he's paying attention to those little details, decide what choice he's going to make. Awesome. Two of Cups is like the romantic of the tarot. It's the people that fulfill our cups, and it's finding that love for ourselves as well. And you've got that symbol right there. And you've got the Two of Swords, taking that time to tune out the distractions and looking within. So I love that little attention to detail, that there's so many distractions in the world. When we take that time to really sit with our own thoughts, anything is possible. So you got spades, hearts, clubs, and just the diamonds again, and you've got the earth, fire, cup, or water, and air as well. So there's all the twos, you know, kindness, compassion, empathy, thought process, choices, balance, and intuition is the energy of 2. Creativity and creation itself is the energy of 3. And here are the threes of the suit with the Three of Swords, or the threes of the tarot, with the Three of Swords, Three of Cups, Three of Wands, and Three of Discs. And there are those illustrations as well. I've never gotten to do a deck, like a video that I had the ability to do this. I absolutely love it. So you've got the three of, like all of these, they connect very much to the Rider-Waite-Smith illustrations, because you got the three of discs, and that looks a lot like it in the green and everything. The women all toasting their cups and finding their joy. The three of swords looks very, very painful, because, well, there's the heartbreak and betrayal right there, because there's another love. But the three of wands might be the most interesting one here, because you have all these maidens down here, all the people already working, and it shows that inspiration, and the reason why the three of wands is my favorite card of the deck, because this guy, he's got that groundedness. He's got the club right there on his illustration, or like, you know, it's in the green, so he's like focused, grounded on what he wants to embark on. He's made that choice that the two of wands, you know, asked us to make. But down here, these are all the people he can inspire by doing so. They're all the ones working to create their own passions at the same time. So what a cool little attention to detail there that, again, you don't see in other decks. So very, very cool illustration right there. Let's take them back up. I'm trying to keep them in order, but not going to happen. So there, we'll set them aside. And then we hit the 4, the number of a strong foundation, the Emperor of the Major Arcana. And there is the 4 of Swords, 4 of Cups. Did I miss one? I must be missing the 4 of, I'm missing a 4. Yeah, I don't know where it is, but maybe we'll get to it in, oh, ta-da, there it is. Yes, it was just stuck to the other one. So there they are. We have all the 4s, the strong foundation right there. You know, the 4 of Pentacles or 4 of Discs. Saving your money, holding on to it, you know, don't take it. 4 of Wands, that wedding and very much Rider-Waite-Smith illustration with those characters right there. 4 of Cups, you have this new potential. You're sitting there, you're comfortable and everything, but you're bored. You don't know what to paint. You don't know what to do. There's all that potential right there with that cup that shows like the ace energy of the suit of cups. But if you're just focused on meh, been there, done that, and just mundane and boring everything is, then you're not going to be able to notice that potential that is right there. And then there's the 4 of Swords with rest and reflection, because you can decide what you want to do and what you want to create moving forward. So those are the 4s of the suit, or the 4s of the tarot. I keep saying suit because I've never been able to do something like this. It's so cool. Okay, 5s. 5s are next. 5 of Swords is the victor or victim card. 5 of Cups is the crying over spilled milk, as I like to call it, focusing on the loss. 5 of Wands is immaturity and other people's passions conflicting with their own. And 5 of Pentacles, or 5 of Discs, we'll call it 5 of Discs, sure. And 5 of Denticles. Yep, there, I just changed it. But each of these, they're not positive cards. Like the 5 is the number of change and transformation, the Hierophant of the Major Arcana, and it's the turning point of the suit, or of the deck, so, or the numerology thing. It's the turning point of it. So the 5 of Swords, change that mindset. The 5 of Cups, change that thought that all this is what you have when all of this still remains. 5 of Wands, change that thought process that, you know, everybody's allowed and entitled to their own opinions and passions, and focus on your own. You got the clubs and everything there, right there, connecting it to, like we talked about earlier with the playing cards and everything. And the 5 of Cups, or the 5 of Discs, you know, you might be down on your luck right now, but again, changing that mindset, changing that perspective, changing and transforming your life for the better can change that situation. So very much 5 energy is all about changing and transformation. If you're in a down spot in your life, if you're in a negative spot, change that mindset. I love these. Okay, 6s are next. Let's put all of these back over here in this little pile so we don't get our piles confused and leave them back in the box where we want them. 6s, 6 of Swords, leaving the past behind, finding time of peace and harmony. 6 of Cups, nostalgia, learning from the past, very much Rider-Waite-Smith illustration right there, so that you can love again, you can find things to love moving forward and make new memories. 6 of Wands, celebrating our victories no matter how small they might be, other people appreciating us as well. And the 6 of Discs, the sharing is caring card is right there. So you have all the 6s, 6, 6, 6, 6. So you have that self-reflective energy with the 6 energy, the lovers of the Major Arcana as well, loving ourselves enough to change our lives for the better, and we start focusing on what we love moving forward, leaving the stress behind and finding time of peace and harmony, learning from the past to find that happiness that awaits us, reflecting and appreciating those victories or even the failures. No matter how small those victories might have been, they still have something to teach us. No matter if things went wrong, they still have stuff to teach us. And we share our lights and share our love with the world. You know, they share with us, and life is much more beautiful and loving, right? So there are the 6s of the tarot, 6s of the court, no, 6s of the tarot, 6s of the suits, There we go. And we move on to 7, the number of the Chariot, overcoming obstacles that stand in our way of success. So there is the Thief card of the tarot. And look, there's the snake again. I like how the snake is just showing up and like not even like random specific. It's extremely random. There's the 7 of Wands, the 7 of Cups, and the 7 of Discs. You know, steal back your confidence, steal back your mind. Don't let the opinions of others help you from not trusting yourself and trusting your intuition. There's 2 swords right there, or 2 spades right there, and then the 5 up here. You give that power to change and transform your thoughts, change and transform that mindset so that you can really trust your intuition, to steal back your confidence, get behind the wheel of your chariot, and overcome the obstacles that stand in your way of success. Choices. Having so many choices in front of you can definitely be an obstacle as well. So there's all the potential, all the choices that remain. When you focus on what makes your heart sing, there might be more than one thing. So it's very important to pay attention to little details. Therein lies the obstacle. Some of those ideas might be too good to be true. 7 of Wands, defending your passion, standing for what you believe in. And she's standing there on her box, you know, Pandora's box again. Yes, life got scary and all hell broke loose and stuff, but hope remains, and that hope is your confidence and your belief, and you're standing for what you believe in can help defeat the ones that don't believe in you. Yes, just stand up for what you believe in, and you can achieve it. You can drive your chariot to where you want to be, and there's even the little water dripping down that shows those emotions having a part as well. And then the 7 of Discs, all of this, stealing back that confidence, making the right choice, defending what you are passionate about, what lights your inner fire. You have to have patience with all of it. So there is the overcoming obstacles issue right there, and having patience is definitely an obstacle anymore, right? So those are the 7s of the suits. So we're going to set them all aside and move to the 8s of the suits. Seriously, I love being able to do this, to show you all the cards of the minor arcana, at once, of all the suits. So there is the 8 of Swords, being a prisoner to our own mind. 8 of Cups, leaving that prison behind. Leaving behind what no longer serves us. 8 of Wands, shooting our arrows to where they want to be, and life moving crazy for us. And 8 of Pentacles, or 8 of Discs, putting in that hard work and effort. Practice makes perfect. So there is all the 8s. Success and wealth await us when we free ourselves from those prisons of our mind, when we leave behind what no longer emotionally satisfies us, when we're not afraid of the chaos that comes with following our passions, and we're willing to practice and practice and practice until we get good at it. So there are those illustrations, and we move on to the 9s, the energy of the Hermit, that contains the energy of all the numbers that have come before it. So that can fill us with doubt and anxiety, keep us awake at night. This is the 9 of Swords. It can help us make our wishes come true because we've learned from those experiences. The past is the 9 of Cups. It can help us not have to look over our shoulders all the time and defend ourselves all the time, because we've learned from our experiences. And then when we learn from our experiences and we put in the hard work and effort, we can find enough money to buy ourselves whatever we want. So there are the energy of 9s, containing the energy of all the numbers that have come before, all of those experiences. They're all in here. They can conflict our minds and make us stay awake all night worrying that if the past wasn't great, the future might not be great either. We get that clear night's rest. We don't have that monkey on our backs anymore. We can start making our wishes come true, fulfilling what makes our heart sing. Yes, the past might not have been kind. It might have been bad. It might have us worrying and everything, but we know how to defend ourselves now. We know how to learn from those experiences, and then we can buy ourselves and feel confident in everything in ourselves to buy ourselves whatever we want. We just mustn't cloud our minds that material things are everything, because they're really not. Okay, there are the 9s, and then last but not least are the 10s. Now, two of the 10s are really positive, 2 of the 10s are really negative, because this is the wanting to throw in the towel, lay down and die with the 9 of Swords, or 10 of Swords. But you've got that sun right there saying, you take all those swords out of your back, then you can actually start the next chapter, spin the wheel and begin the next chapter of your story. The 10 of Cups, the happy family card of the tarot. When you feel fulfilled, then you can begin the next chapter. When you leave behind those overwhelming feelings, says the 10 of Wands, life started moving crazy, you started having to defend what you're passionate about and everything, and you feel overwhelmed, but you've still got that control. You don't have to do everything on your own, and you're closer to your destination than you think. The 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Discs in this deck. I cannot get the Pentacles out of my head. I'm sorry about that. But you've got all of those things of your past, all the ones that have come before you, the blood through your veins, your own past lives and everything. It's what gives you that ability. When you clear your mind, when you free your mind and don't give up, when you learn from those experiences, when you feel fulfilled and happy, when you've taken on enough and you still are going, and you learn from the ones that have come before you, you know, all the ones that have passed, then you absolutely can spin the wheel and begin the next chapter of your story. So those are the 10s. The numerical sequence is complete. And now we move on to the pages. Are we going to do the pages the same way? We had the Page of Swords, the Page of Cups, the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands wants to stick to the Page of Earth, or the Page of Discs. And you have all the pages right there with their P's, with their spades, with their hearts, with their clubs, and with their diamonds. And they're all ready. They've taken everything that they've learned and experienced. It's like they're all walking from the past, like each one. Like this is the Swords one. She's leaving behind the past. She's beginning again. She's got all the useful information she needs. She's got the magnifying the glass and everything so she can pay attention to the little details. The Page of Cups is sitting on the edge of the bridge. So she's overcome a lot. She's learned from the experiences. She's ready to begin again. There's a turtle riding a dolphin, so that's really cool. Page of Wands. She's coming out of that tower or everything or anything. So she's ready to embark on this new path. You know, they've spun the wheel. They've begun again. They're taking all of that information. So the 11's there, you know, 1 and 1, it's the number after the 10. 2, they trust their intuition. She trusts her intuition. She's leaving behind what she's already created and beginning again, focusing on that new pinnacle, that new diamond that she wants to bring to life. So there are the pages. We'll see the knights next. And we know some of the queens are not in this side. They are in the other. So that's, you know, a little bit different. Chevalier of Swords. I might not be pronouncing that really correctly, but you know, this is the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Discs. I think there's somebody that's sticking together. Oops. Is he here? Yes. The Knight of Wands, the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Discs. And there are those 4 soldiering on towards what they want to achieve. Now, what's interesting here is the different ways that they are looking. You know, the Knight of Swords is ready for chaos. Whatever life throws at him, he's creating the future that he wants, and he's not going to stop. He's going to go through the obstacles with confidence. He's going to learn from the experience, and he trusts his mind to lead him. The Chevalier, the Knight of Cups, is turning around. He's facing the other way. You know, he knows what makes his heart sing. So he's going to go back and he's going to find it. He's going to follow that heart and listen to it and let it lead him to finding the song of his soul to help him create the life he truly loves and enjoys. The Knight of Wands, or the Chevalier in Wands in this deck, is right here, and he's ready for whatever life throws at him. He's moving forward too. It seems he's moving directly at us, actually, it looks like. And so he's got his little club right there on his sword or his wand. And he's ready for whatever life throws at him, too. He's ready to follow that fire. I always like to point out the caution that comes with the Knight of Wands, though. Sagittarius energy with the Knight of Wands, the last deacon of Scorpio as well. Flightiness. Flightiness is definitely an issue with the Knight of Wands because you have many passions. So focus on one at a time, soldier on towards one at a time. You can succeed at it. And the Chevalier of Discs, the most patient soldier that there is. You know, he's not afraid of that boring and mundane work in order to achieve what he wants to achieve. Even the horse kind of looks a little bit depressed right there. But he's kind of looking backwards, but he's looking forward too because he's learning from those experiences past and having patience with this process, even if it's boring and mundane, in order to create the life that he truly loves and enjoys. There's 1 and 2 is the energy of the Knight, the Chevalier. It's 12. So you have that Hangman energy, all having patience to find the success that they deserve. So we're going to set all of these aside now, and I'm going to do one little thing so we can see them kind of come back a little bit to the cards we've already seen, but they were really up front, so we can do it. Boom, boom. There is the Queen of Discs, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of... I might not... Where's the other one? Well, there is the Queen of Cups. I'm missing the Queen of Air. Where did she go? But there is the 3 queens. Did we already meet her, or she's probably stuck to somebody, isn't she? Dun, da, 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 the Queen of Swords. Yes, that's what she was. She was stuck. So we have the whole deck. Don't worry about that. It's very much the entire deck when you purchase this deck. And I will put a link in the description of down below where you can purchase this deck yourself. Again, U.S. games, U.S. publishing systems or something like that. I'll put that link in the description below where you can purchase this deck for your own collection if you want to collect it. Because the greens, the reds, the blues, and the yellows, like there's so much just to learn from this deck, so much to see from this deck, so much to inspire to you to go after your dreams, to empower you to believe in yourself. You know, there is the the head of the husband, you know, because the Queen of Swords is the one that she doesn't need a man. She's considered the widow of the tarot because she's lost a lot, but that hasn't stopped her, and she's going to create moving forward. The Queen of Cups looks almost like she's got it like a sorbet or an frozen ice or something, shaved ice in that cup right there. But she's got, you know, she's got one toe dipped in the water, so she's trusting her into emotions. We talked about the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Discs already. You know, she's focused. Aries energy, she's going to lead with passion. She's got the cat that looks very determined because the cat's her familiar, so she has that energy right there. She's got that compassion for animals. The Queen of Discs has that animal too, that fertile with new life and new potential, her Capricorn energy. So there are all the queens of the courts, the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles go in the deck, or the side of the deck that I already did. The Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups seem to go over here. So there are the two 50-pack cards. Here's the box that they go in. I don't remember which one was on which side, so we're just going to put them on either side, keeping them nice and organized in this nice clean box. So you have it, and look, the box is even purple and orange, so those are opposite colors, and I really like the little detail that they did with that, because it's like opposing thoughts. When you trust ourselves, when you add those colors together, I really wonder if you actually use paint and you add purple and orange together, what color would that make? Most likely brown or something like that. I might have to try that sometime. And the guidebook, of course, the guidebook is right here, and you have all of that information there. I just opened up to the Ace of Swords, so I will read you what it says about the Ace of Swords so you can get an idea of how the guidebook is. It says Ace of Swords is the unity of thought. The Ace of Swords signifies a unanimous idea. The inspiration of unified thought provides conviction and unique purpose. New original ideas are granted. Reversed aspects indicate action without clarity and control that leads to adverse velocity. Great power can corrupt. And then it says here, and it's the information about the illustration on the card. It says a sylph wearing a celestial crown flies through the air with a sword in his hand. Looped on his belt is a lemniscate, symbolizing a unity of eternal ideas. On the right is an olive tree. Okay, hold on. We're going to try to find him so we can actually talk about him more. He was at the beginning of one of these. I shouldn't have done that. Now they're all mixed together. Oh, well, what's like, that was like the most, like, it was almost like my idea of putting the cards into the ocean. Not a good idea. Don't do that. Okay, there we go. There we go. And there, see, it wasn't hard to find him. He's right there. So I'm going to set these cards. I think there was two that, like, didn't go. Oh well, we'll just set them back in here. You know, I can put them back in order if I need to later. But we just wanted the ace, so I could show you the ace. And you could see the ace while I talked about the ace, because it was weird that you couldn't. So, put these cards back in. Set that aside and set that ace right there. Okay, where were we? A sylph wearing a celestial crown flies through the air with a sword in his hand. Looped on his belt is that lemniscate. I guess that's what that thing right there is. Symbolizing a unity of eternal ideas. On the right is an olive tree. There is the olive tree. Symbolizing severity and the suffering of transformation. The branches of the palm tree are resistant. There is the palm tree, are resistant to harsh winds and a reminder that even in the most difficult times, victory can be achieved. However, victory for some means loss for others. This Fae has an ultimate conviction as in a unitor of opposites. His raised sword has a double-sided blade. It can also be used to affirm thoughts that align with divine will, and it can also be used to invoke wrath, punishment, and cause affliction. We must strive to wield weapons wisely. That's a lot of W's right there, isn't it? But that is what it shares about the Ace of Swords. There's a lot of information in that guidebook that can help you, you know, learn as you go. I think this deck would be a really good deck for beginners because you have, like, there's something you can learn from it. There's something you don't get from other decks. There's something that you can take with you and you can apply it to the other decks, you know? Again, like playing cards. You can get that playing card deck. You can wow people with the fact that you know what the playing card decks mean. You know, you pull that 3 of clubs and you're like, that's the 3 of wands. You can inspire people with your passions when you follow your passions. So that was the Allcento Tarot created by Michael J. Auger, the newest deck in my tarot collection because I'm a tarot card collector as much as I'm a tarot card reader. And it's an awesome deck. And if you want a reading with this deck or any deck in my collection, please feel free to comment on this video. message me on the socials, or book one directly on my website. All of that will be in the description below. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Again, I'll leave a link in the description below where you can purchase this deck for your own collection. Again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again in the next one.